the playoffs. In his second year as Jets coach, Bruce Coslett has his team in focus. Quarterback Ken O'Brien has brought color to the offense, passing for nearly 3,000 yards. And finding Al Toon, he's lit up the opposition for nearly 1,000 yards receiving. The Jets can zero in on a wild card with 2 more wins. Blair Thomas will need to pick up his game and lead the running game to daylight, and the defense will need big plays to light up Jets playoff hopes. But the vastly improved New England Patriots have a target of their own. Coach Dick McPherson is laying a foundation for brighter days and hopes to celebrate an upset win with another Mac sack today.
NBC Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the New England Patriots versus the New York Jets.
Sellout crowd at Giant Stadium as the Jets continue their drive for the playoffs against the Patriots today on a cold afternoon, 37 degrees, the wind gusting over 30 miles an hour at times, the wind chill somewhere around 12 to 16 degrees for today's game. Hello everyone and welcome to Giant Stadium. Tom Hammond with Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Namath. The playoff picture starting to come into focus in the AFC. In fact, if the playoffs started today, here's the way they would line up. With the Oilers, the Broncos, and the Bills already in, the Raiders and the Chiefs would get 2 wild card berths, and if it were today, Miami would be in. But that could all change in the next 2 weeks. It's a simple proposition for the Jets, one of 4 teams vying for that final wild card berth. If the Jets win their next 2 games, they are in the playoffs for the first time since 1986. Joe, a chink in the armor of the Jets today, though. Their veteran kicker, Pat Leahy, hasn't practiced all week.
And he's been hurting for about 6 weeks. He has a sciatic problem in his back. It tightens up on him quickly. About 11:20 this morning, he came out in the field, tried about a half dozen kicks. He hit the ball well. He told me afterwards, however, that his main concern is his back tightening up. He has to keep it warm. He has an analgesic rub on his back. But during the game, he's going to be on that warm, heated bench, trying to stay that way.
The opposing quarterbacks today, the veteran Ken O'Brien of the Jets and the newcomer Hugh Millen of the Patriots, are pretty adept at the passing game. They've had good years, and the passing attack could be key to victory today.
Oh, sure, no doubt. Now, Ken O'Brien feels his offensive line is the key, giving him time to get the ball downfield. They've already beaten his team. He knows he can get it done. Millen, on the other hand, they have the passing game as their bread and butter. They go to that game, and this man has finished the last game in overtime in a big way.
And here's the opening kick as the Patriots send it down. It'll be Brown returning for the Jets. And A.B. Brown reverses his field and then is tripped up at about the 17-yard line. Good coverage by the Patriots as Marvin Allen makes the tackle for New England.
Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler bring you this NFL Game of the Month. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
And so the New York Jets will take over with a first down. They begin from their own 18-yard line. Ken O'Brien just 19 yards away from 3,000 passing on the season. And a running play to Brad Baxter. Baxter takes it for a small gain, 1 yard or 2 to the 20, as we look at the starting offensive lineup for the Jets, who are ranked 5th in the NFL on offense. On the line, Mike Haight is injured, replaced by former first-round choice Dave Cadigan at left guard. O'Brien, as we said, each just 19 to reach 3,000 passing for the season. He had 3 touchdowns in the earlier 7-point win over New England. Toon also had a big day in that game, 9 catches, 127 yards. The Jets' Falcon formation has McNeil in the backfield, Dawkins and Mathis for 4 wide receivers. 2 tight end formation now for New York on 2nd and 8. And O'Brien's first pass, intended for Chris Dressel and wide of the mark. It'll be 3rd down coming up for New York. Here's the New England defense, 26th overall in the league. Up front, Brent Williams tops the defensive line with 2.5 sacks. Tippett leads the team. He has 7.5 sacks. Brown, the top tackler, a career-high 109. In the secondary, Hurst, the leader there, with 3 interceptions. The Patriots dime brings Washington and Poole in for Tippett and Colon.
On that last pass, folks, you just saw what the wind can do. There's a strong crosswind down on the playing surface.
From the shotgun, O'Brien to Toon, incomplete. David Poole with good tight coverage on Al Toon, and he breaks it up. It'll be 4th down for New York.
Well, Thomas, you call it good tight coverage. Let's take a look, folks. Toon, number 88, comes downfield. Poole gets there as Toon feels that he got there a little bit early. You judge for yourself. I think he was a little bit early.
Yeah, it looks like he wrapped his arms around him before the ball got there, huh?
But once again, that ball drifted behind Toon just as the first pass was influenced by the wind.
Louis Aguiar averaging under 40 yards a punt. Henderson deep for the Patriots. Aguiar kicking into a crosswind. Well, he gets a good one, and it's fumbled. Loose football, still loose, and finally recovered by the Patriots as Henderson, who fumbled initially, got the big Sunday hop and gathered it up, avoiding the turnover.
Well, Henderson just lets the ball hit him on his gear, his helmet, his shoulder pad, and bounces away from him. Whether the wind factor had anything to do with moving the ball, I don't know, but Henderson sure did like that bounce that he got.
Got a good hop, did Henderson. So New England has its first opportunity after the Patriots defense holds the Jets on New York's first possession. New England beginning from its own 31-yard line. Vastly improved quarterback Hugh Millen. First down pass. Millen avoids the rush, gets it in the flat to Leonard Russell. And Russell, who is the leading ground gainer, catches his 15th pass of the season and takes it for a gain of 5 or 6 yards, stopped by James Hasty. Patriots defense, 2 first-round, I should say the Patriots offense, those 2 first-round choices, Armstrong and Harlow, anchor the offensive line. Millen has developed rapidly. He's averaged nearly 300 yards passing the last 5 games. Irving Fryer close to his first 1,000-yard season. McMurtry is injured, replaced by Timpson, his first career start. You see the Patriot diamond formation with 4 wides. Russell stopped at the line of scrimmage, perhaps fell forward for a yard, stopped by Mercereau and Clifton as we check the New York defensive alignment. A very active front 4. Loggeman has 8.5 sacks, Washington 6, Bird 4.5. Kyle Clifton, as always, is the leading tackler for the Jets. He has 119. In the secondary, Brim and Hasty have combined for 7 interceptions, and the Jets dime has McMillan in for Young at free safety. Forrest and Starge will make it 6 defensive backs. Third down and just over a yard to go for New England. High formation in the backfield. Stevens and Russell. Russell, the tailback, gets the handoff and has a first down, bursting free of the Jets front all the way into New York territory down to the 47-yard line before he's tackled by Hasty and Washington.
Behind Bruce Armstrong on the left side, and Albert Crawford. Russell hits a huge hole. When you have 8 men up toward the line of scrimmage and the running back finds a crack, he's going to gain big yardage, and that's what happened that last play. The Jets were up there, but Russell got a nice little hole in there and made the best of it.
You see Russell, the top rusher among NFL rookies. First-round draft choice, the 14th player taken out of Arizona State. Coach and Cook, 2 tight ends. Russell, the only setback on first down. Russell to the 44-yard line, tripped up by Kyle Clifton. Clifton, the leading tackler, already 119 tackles coming into the game.
Clifton also is a heady player. He can read, so he's going to stay in the game. Number 59, check him out. He takes on a nice lead block by Clayton. And look, he just fights it off and brings Russell down. As I mentioned, Clifton will stay in on part of a nickel-dime defense because he reads the development of the play so well, and he plays the run better than the normal nickel-dime people.
Clifton has been the #1 tackler for the Jets 6 of his 8 years in the league. Millen chased from the pocket. Gets rid of it, almost intercepted. James Hasty had it go off his fingertips. The ball intended for Irving Fryer, but Hasty got there first.
Well, Hasty and his mates in that secondary are hoping that the Jets can put pressure back there on Millen. Here you see Irving Fryer getting by Hasty. Fryer is playing with a bruised left calf, but he wouldn't sit out today. He said, hey, if I can go at all, I'm going to be out there. Normal speed of the play. The pressure is what the Jets need to get on Millen.
Jeff Lageman told us yesterday that was the key for the defense. Pressure on Hugh Millen. Greg McMurtry is in now. They have 3 wide receivers in the game. McMurtry, Fryer, and Timpson. McMurtry fighting an injury. Millen steps up and delivers the pass complete. Coming back to make the catch is Michael Timpson, who got his first career start today and caught the ball in front of Tony Stargell for a New England first down.
Terrific blocking up front. Look at that pocket that Millen's throwing from, huh? I mean, he's going to tear the Jets up if he keeps getting that kind of protection.
Gain of 11 yards and a first down, with Timpson making his 14th reception of the season. He's in his second year out of Penn State, a 4th-round draft choice by the Patriots. Played only 5 games and had only 5 receptions a year ago. Pete Carroll, the defensive coordinator of the New York Jets, has seen the Patriots move on his defense on their opening possession. Play action pass. Millen again is chased from the pocket. Now in trouble and lofts it incomplete. Russell was right there, though, and again, you've talked, Joe, about Hugh Millen and his poise. He showed it there.
I tell you, I can't say enough good things about the development of this young man at quarterback. He stays in the pocket as long as he possibly can, and then he tries to avoid the rush, and he's been able to do that. He's kept these Patriots in games. He's brought them back late. He's developed faster than any young quarterback I've seen, with the exception of Troy Aikman, Dan Marino.
Well, sacks have been a problem, as you can see, for the New England offense. That time, Dennis Byrd of the Jets was bearing down on Millen and almost had one. 2nd and 10. And delay of game against New England. That'll cost them 5 yards. What happened, Joe? Was the play late coming in from the sideline, or was Millen just a little confused trying to read the defense?
I think the play was late getting in. The whole shooting match got out of the huddle behind time, and that's why they got the penalty. Little problem with the referee's microphone right now, but that was a delay of game signal, and I know Coach McPherson does not like to see his teams hurt themselves. No coach does.
McPherson, who has put some enthusiasm for sure back in the Patriots team, which won only a game a year ago. 5-9 coming into today, trying to win 2 in a row for the first time in 3 years. Millen. Diving catch finally made by Marv Cook. And Cook close to a first down. Millen came off his first target, hit the secondary receiver Marv Cook, who leads all NFL tight ends. That was his 77th catch of the season. First look at our Dr. Pepper 10-minute ticker. No scores in those games. 32. Pittsburgh on the board first against their arch rival, the Cincinnati Bengals, on a cold day at Three Rivers. And here at Giant Stadium, we're scoreless in the first quarter, 9:22 left, but the Patriots driving on the favored Jets with a 3rd and 2 coming up. John Stevens, nowhere to go, trapped in the backfield by Brian Washington, the strong safety.
Well, I wasn't surprised by that call. Washington is assigned to Stevens. Number 48 is just going to spy. You see Clifton 59 get in there, but there's 48 Washington, who was just keeping an eye on that lone running back there. I would have thought that New England, knowing that they needed just a couple yards, would have stayed on the ground, even on this 4th down, and tried to get it. But I see that Bauman is in there to try this field goal. It's going to be a tough one with the wind condition.
45 yards for Bauman, who's hit 8 of 9 since being signed by New England. 45-yard attempt. Plenty of leg and accuracy, too. Charlie Bauman with a 45-yard field goal, and the Patriots, off their first possession, jump to a 3-0 lead. We're in the playoffs, the 1986 season against Cleveland. Mark Mosley with a 27-yard field goal put the Browns in the AFC Championship game, defeating the Jets in double overtime, 23-20. A long day for Mark Gastineau and company. Bruce Coslet, though, has the Jets on the comeback trail after the down years that followed that last playoff appearance, and he need only win his last 2 games to put New York in the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. And he's had a low-key approach, Joe. He has not had any impassioned speeches about making the playoffs.
Well, heck, a 10-year-old kid knows the importance of this game for these Jets.
Kick is a short one, but then is fumbled around by the Jets, and they'll be forced to fall on it back at their own 19-yard line. A.B. Brown, the return man, finally was able to collar the football, and boy, the Jets just don't look sharp here in the early going.
Well, they're tense. You know, this is the biggest game they've ever played. Of course, they're tense. What Koslet is concerned with is that his young team will play with intensity, but not let this tenseness of the playoff possibility hurt their effort.
Just seen the Patriots drive 41 yards in 10 plays for a go-ahead field goal. Here's Blair Thomas, his first carry of the day. Gets about 5 yards, maybe 6 to the 25. Vincent Brown credited for the tackle, and Blair Thomas a bit in Coach Koslet's doghouse. He said he was a little disappointed in him. He thought he would be better, but he hasn't given up on him yet.
Oh, no, this is still a really potentially outstanding young running back. He had a couple of fumbles that hurt the Jets. Over at Detroit, he dropped the ball that hurt the Jets, and that's where Koslet's been concerned. He can't have his running backs putting the football on the ground.
3 tight ends, Boyer, Dressel, and Kelly for New York on this 2nd and 3. Thomas close to the first down before he's thrown back by the New England defense, led by Vincent Brown and Eugene Lockhart.
One thing the Jets really have going for them today is the fact that they beat these Patriots the last time they played. Koslet says, hey, we have the Patriots and the Dolphins left. We've beaten both of those teams. These teams aren't as good as us, and we should go out there and win the game. Now, once again, the tenseness, the nerves, you know, you're in a big game right now. He doesn't know how his young team is going to react.
They won 28-21 up at New England, staving off a New England comeback after it seemed the Jets would cruise to victory. First down play here. Thomas had enough for the first down. O'Brien's pass off Toone's hands and almost intercepted. Tim Gordon made a diving stab at it and couldn't quite come up with it. It was a little high and off the hands of Al Toone.
Well, obviously, O'Brien has been off on his first few passing attempts. I think the timing is off here. You'll see Toone come open, but the ball not there yet. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me take that back and just give credit to Hurst. Maurice Hurst just made a fine defensive play. Toone didn't force Hurst deep at all. That was excellent coverage by Maurice.
Ken O'Brien has missed on his first 3 pass attempts at 2nd and 10. O'Brien completes it short, and then it's dropped. Baxter had the ball in his hands and then dropped it. And, of course, Brad Baxter may be a bit distracted this week. He's been the center of a controversy involving that chop block of the Jets against the Detroit Lions last week. Baxter, the man that made the block on Jerry Ball, which ended Ball's season.
Well, the second year back out of Alabama State is showing a little bit of the nerves out there. That last drop was simply because he took his eye off the ball and wanted to get going. O'Brien was on target with the last delivery.
So O'Brien now has a 3rd and long. 4 wide receivers. Brian's pass incomplete. Mathis, the intended receiver, the ball low. It looked like Rob Moore was open down the sideline. He elected to go to Mathis and was off target.
Well, with the exception of Maurice Hurst's coverage, there have been open receivers. Now, Bruce Koslet does not coach to hurt people. He says he does not condone that kind of thing. It never teach him. And he certainly has been offended by these things, Tom.
Well, he has been having to answer that all week long, and he said it did distract somewhat from preparation for this game. We'll show you the play in question later on. Aguiar with his 2nd punt. Burkett's called for and fumbled. And the Jets have it. Henderson for the 2nd time fumbled it, and Chris Burkett downfield quickly, number 87, makes the fumble recovery.
Well, Henderson obviously having a lot of trouble fielding these punts. This one hits him in the face mask once more, bounds off his helmet, and then the Jets get the play. You'd wonder if this happened to him in warm-ups. You know, I'll bet not one time did he drop a punt during warm-ups. He's out there now, and he drops 2 of them. Watch the ball hit his face mask. You see that? And just bounces away from him.
And Burkett, number 87, the man that would eventually make the Jets' recovery. First turnover of the game in New York, now with possession at the 38 of New England. Freeman McNeil bursting through inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line. Finally tripped up by Eugene Lockhart. First carry of the day for the veteran Freeman McNeil, the Jets' all-time leading rusher, closing in on 8,000 yards.
Freeman's one of those guys that was around in '86 when the Jets made the playoffs last. I don't think he's tense out there at all. He certainly doesn't look it. Knows what he's doing getting that yardage. I like the way he's keeping that ball tucked away, too.
Interesting that Coslett went with his veteran in the backfield. McNeil, the only setback here. Again, Freeman McNeil. And again, a good run. Inside the 25 to the Patriot 23-yard line. Colon and Gordon with the tackle of Freeman McNeil, who has gained only over 200 yards this season. But look at the average, over 6 yards a carry.
Boy, you'd like to use him all the time with that kind of average. He's smart. He knows where to run. One of the best things Freeman McNeil does is utilize his blockers well. He lets them set him up, and then he cuts in behind them.
This is only the 12th game he's played. Was activated from injured reserve in November. Bryant's pass incomplete. Intended for Mark Boyer, the tight end, on a crossing pattern. And putting the pressure on Ken O'Brien, Garen Veras, and the other members of the defensive line for New England. Tippett was there as well.
Well, they probably figured Tippett's going to chase the play, but watch number 56 on the right side of the screen. He goes right after O'Brien. Sure, he checked the offside a little bit, but he stayed at home, and Tippett is the one that forced that incompletion.
O'Brien still has not hit a pass. He's 0 for 6. That time it was Tippett that forced the incompletion. 3rd and 5, and O'Brien in the shotgun. He's got 2 wide receivers to either side. Moore, Mathis, Toon, and Dawkins, the wideouts. O'Brien gives on a draw to McNeil. Freeman McNeil to the 16, and a Jet first down. Brett Williams and Garen Veras on the tackle of McNeil, who makes a first down on the draw play.
Oh, the ball handling is sweet on this thing. O'Brien's actually going to go behind McNeil. You see that, then hand it forward. White, 67, opens a huge hole. Then Big Sweeney up front, number 53, the center, blocks the remaining defender. Nice first down run by McNeil.
McNeil, with those 3 carries, has sparked this drive for the Jets. First down now at the 16 of New England. Patriots lead 3-0. Thomas bounces to the outside, but can't get around the corner. Good defense by Maurice Hurst, who denied him the outside. Update on our Dr. Pepper 10-minute ticker. Cleveland fighting to stay alive with a wild card berth. They need to win. Eliminated if they lose. Break on top of the Oilers. Dallas in front, as you saw. Pittsburgh still leading the Bengals. Here at Giant Stadium, 3-0 New England, but the Jets threatening. And the injured player, Chris Singleton, the linebacker, first-round draft choice in his 2nd year, hobbling off for New England and replaced by David Howard.
David Howard is a fine linebacker, we might add. I know Singleton was a #1 draft choice, outstanding linebacker, but there's really not a big drop-off there because this Howard, as a linebacker, is pretty darn good.
83% of the time, the Jets score inside the opponent 20. They have it at the 15 here on a 2nd and 9. Thomas has carried 3 times, only 12 yards. O'Brien's first completion. There's a flag down. Al Toon. Let's see if it stands. That would make it 91 straight that he's caught a pass. 91 straight games. Holding call against the Patriots. Defensive holding.
Well, there's a lot of bumping going on in the middle of the field, kind of the right center of the screen. There's some people that's going to be grabbing, I guess, and I never did see the hold, but I'm sure these officials are hardly ever wrong. It must have occurred.
The mic of Howard Rowe is not working, but he signals defensive holding, which is an automatic first down. Did I detect a note of sarcasm in your voice? They never miss one?
No, I'm just worried about their referee's mic. But on the other hand, I don't know if that's good or bad that it's not working. No, I do know. I love to get the explanations there. Al Toon's catch. Are they going to call it a catch or take the penalty?
Well, if they take the penalty, it's an automatic first down on defensive holding. Let's see. They will accept the penalty. It is an automatic first down, which wipes out the catch by Al Toon.
Once again, even though that game up at New England was close, 28-21, the Jets were really not in danger of losing the game. Until the end, they could have been tied. But they played a good game offensively in the first half, and they've yet to really get going this half. This is a pretty nice drive, however.
First down, it's trying to take advantage of a New England turnover as Blair Thomas cuts back to the 5. Finally ripped down there by a host of white-shirted defenders, led by linebacker Vincent Brown.
It's awful hard to score on these Patriots on the ground. You know, last year they were like a doormat. They gave up maybe the most runs in the league for touchdown, and this year they're way down, like 5 or so runs. Here you see the hole off to the left once again, and what helps this Thomas as a running back is his low center of gravity. He's able to change direction so much, so quickly.
You see the third best rushing defense in the AFC. 2nd and 6. O'Brien still looking for that first completion. Still doesn't have it. Incomplete pass, Ken O'Brien. Intended for Blair Thomas out of the backfield and well covered by Gordon and Lockhart.
Well, O'Brien was concerned with his protection in that. If he does get decent protection, he felt confident that he would have open receivers. Right now, he's 0 for 7, and the wind has definitely affected many of his passes.
Pat Leahy, the oldest player in the NFL at 40 years old, has not practiced all week. He has back and hip injuries. He had limited warm-ups today, and he's hurting, but he will be called on perhaps if the Jets can't convert this 3rd and 5. O'Brien tipped and incomplete. Mathis, the intended receiver, but Vincent Brown, who's played a whale of a game already for New England, managed to tip it away, and the Jets will settle for the field goal attempt.
Well, a combination of things has hurt Bruce Costlett's offense. Good defensive play, I think, is the main part. But right here is the big question mark, Pat Leahy's health. Now, again, Tom, before the game, he tried about 6 kicks, that's all, and he hit them all solidly. The question is, has his back tightened up?
Leahy has hit 26 of 36 field goals, 40 his longest. This one 23 yards. 23 yards to tie the game. Leahy's attempt. No good. No good. Off to the left. So yes, Pat Leahy is hurting. The chip shot field goal is no good. And the Jets still trail. 2:57 left in the first quarter. 3-0 New England.
1998.
Pat Leahy in what could conceivably be his final appearance at Giants Stadium for the New York Jets. 40 years old and missing this kick from 23 yards.
Well, the only thing is, I think his head might have come up a little earlier. I'm not an expert kicker, and Pat is, but the ball is just pulled a little left. See, the ribbons on top are blowing to the right, so the wind really didn't blow it left. I think Pat just came up a hair early and pulled it.
Remember, has been suffering from back and hip injuries. Did not kick all week in practice. First down run by Leonard Russell of the Patriots. Gets him across the 25, just short of the 26-yard line. Tripped up by linebacker Joe Kelly of the Jets. What about this young team? You mentioned they were a little tense, Joe, with all the playoff ramifications in this game. They get a Patriot turnover, then see their field goal kicker miss. Does that deflate the team a little bit?
It could deflate the team. That remains to be seen. I like to think that it's just going to get our guys, or the Jets, their guys, meaner, tougher, fire them up. I know that's what would have happened had, in the old days, Jim Turner missed the field goal. Heck, all right, we'll get back and we'll get it back.
Leonard Russell with a short gain, a yard or two. Jeff Lageman, credit with his first tackle of the game.
Well, Lageman has had some trouble playing against 78 Bruce Armstrong. Now, this time Armstrong blocks down, and Lageman comes clean, kind of like the play Andre Tippett harassed O'Brien on earlier. There wasn't a man really assigned to him, and he took the proper route.
Jeff Lagerman with that ponytail. We were sorry to hear that he had sold his Harley, but he says he's expecting a new $12,000 custom-made bike in January. That'll be pretty brisk riding that around here in January.
Too brisk.
Third down play. Millen, under pressure, throws it away. Irving Fryer closest to it, but it looked like Millen intentionally sailed it out of bounds as the pocket was collapsing on him.
Well, Brian Washington, a safety for the Jets, came from the outside. Here's Lay. Well, I don't think that's Lay. That looks like Aguiar warming up over here.
It's 3-0. The Patriots leading the Jets. A loss by Seattle would end their faint playoff hopes.
I like their chances better, though, with Craig in at quarterback down there at Atlanta, Tom.
Right. He has come in to direct the Seahawks. Blair Thomas. Thomas with a head of steam pounds across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Tackled there by Tim Gordon with a half minute left in the first quarter.
Big Jim Sweeney, the center, number 53, the workhorse up front. He's the vet. He leads these guys. They see him pushing Goad off the line. Now, Goad is an awful good nose tackle. That's just really fine offensive blocking by Sweeney and his mates.
Jim Sweeney, who plays all the offensive line spots for the Jets. In his 8th year out of Pittsburgh, a second-round draft choice, was an All-American at Pitt, and Mike Webster, one of the legendary centers in the NFL, was his idol. They'll change ends of the field as the first quarter comes to an end. It finds the Patriots leading the New York Jets 3-0.
A lot of women find my looks intimidating. Do you?
My mother makes the best brisket.
There I was in the Congo.
Why is a good man so hard to find?
Just a minute, okay?
Why ask why? Try Bud Dry. It's dry brewed, not watered down. To drink
only from the mind of Minolta.
3-0, New England leading the Jets. Pat Leahy missed a chance to tie the game, missed a 23-yard field goal, adding insult to his already injured body. And he has to be pondering somewhat his fate and that of his Jets team fighting for the playoffs. They can't afford to lose today. 3rd and 3 for the Jets. O'Brien's first completion of the game. Mathis has a New York first down at the 45. David Howard and Tim Gordon collapse on him there, but O'Brien finally hits one the first play of the second quarter.
Well, I'm a little surprised that he went to Terrence Mathis. Mathis has had trouble holding the ball, but here he makes the big catch. That's what the Jets are going to need. Terrence Mathis and the rest of the receivers to hold on to the ball when it does get there.
See that big goose egg for the first quarter in the passing department from New York. Finally, O'Brien with his first completion of the day. New England leading 3-0. O'Brien going deep down the sideline. Moore can't get there. He was open, and O'Brien overshot him. Rob Moore streaking down the sideline, broke free.
Rob Moore just outrunning the DB. Lippett right here getting open, but you see the ball's overthrown. And, you know, being an ex-quarterback, I know how much the wind does affect the flight of the ball. I don't know that the wind blew this ball off target that time, but I promise you O'Brien and Millen both have to contend with these gusty conditions.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the Jet 45. Brian's pass over the middle and complete to Mark Boyer, the tight end. Short of the first down by a couple of yards, tackled by David Howard. Cleveland trying to stay alive in front. Dallas, that's a battle of hopeful playoff teams. And the Seattle-Atlanta score we discussed earlier. This is our Dr. Pepper 10-minute ticker. Tie game, Detroit and Green Bay. The Lions very much in the playoff hunt. And here at Giants Stadium, 3-0. As the Jets hope for the playoffs. Stalling a bit here in the early going. We're just into the second quarter. Freeman McNeil, the lone setback, 4 wides in the game. McNeil actually set wide to the right with O'Brien in the shotgun. And O'Brien's pass complete. Moore made a nice catch. Diving catch by Rob Moore for the Jet first down. Mickey Washington had pretty tight coverage, but Moore made a good grab.
Yeah, or maybe he made a good grab. We take another look at this thing. It's going to be close. But you see Tippett and Howard both trying to get the pressure up the middle. Let's see if this ball does hit the turf. It's kind of close, but, oh, I don't know. I'm glad I don't have to make that one.
Let's see.
On the field, they ruled it a completion, so there has to be clear-cut evidence that it's incomplete. Tippett trying to stay from being offsides. We're going to get a look at this catch, folks.
Well, they'll replay that one. Bill Fett is the replay official today.
Well, you know, these guys have to conclusively determine that the ball hits the ground before he has possession.
Play is being reviewed.
And I don't know that you can...
Calling on the field was completed pass for first down. Play is under review.
I don't know that you can tell for sure that that ball hits the ground, but check the top of the screen in very slow motion. Boy, this is great work by our camera people. I just can't tell for sure.
Well, if it's not conclusive.
After further review, play stands as called on the field. Completed pass for first down.
That's what happens. If it's not conclusive, the play stands. So McPherson's Patriots yield a first down on a close play. And the Jets' drive continues. They're at the 42 of New England, trailing 3-0. Thomas tries to reverse his field and is cut down. Good pursuit by the New England defense that time as Thomas tried to cut it back and was stopped in his tracks by Eugene Lockhart.
Well, this is what the New England Pats want to do, put the Jets in long yardage situations. Eugene Lockhart made the play for virtually no gain that time. Of course, Lockhart used to be with the Cowboys, and he's been a fine addition to these Patriots with his leadership as well as his playing ability.
In his 8th season, Lockhart, who was traded by Dallas, came over to the Patriots, was the #1 Dallas tackler the last 3 years and 4 of the last 7. Blair Thomas. Caught by the shoestring by David Howard, and it'll bring up a 3rd down for New York. Well, next Saturday, a special afternoon of great NFL action here on NBC. It starts at noon Eastern Time with NFL Live, and you'll see Warren Moon lead the Houston Oilers, AFC Central champs for the first time here at the Meadowlands against the New York Giants. The Oilers want to keep winning so they can get a first-round bye in the AFC playoffs. Oilers and the Giants from the Meadowlands next Saturday, starting at noon Eastern Time here on NBC. 3rd and 7 for the Jets in the shotgun. Matic in at a tight end. Tune in motion. O'Brien's pass to Matic. Trevor Matic will be driven back by the defense. Marion Hobby led the charge. It'll be close depending on the spot whether he got the first down or not.
I can't believe this Matic now. He's caught a touchdown pass up at New England. He had his numbers swapped around from 64 to 46. He probably has light feet now. He feels like he can get out there and dance and run pass routes.
But you know, New England wasn't going to be caught twice by that. He made the catch, but then they swarmed all over him.
Going to be 4th and just a few inches, and Bruce Costlett's offense is going to go for it.
On 4th down, just a little less than a yard. The Jets will go for it. You see what they've done on 4th down. They've got 4 wides in the game. And O'Brien with a quick pass, complete for the first down. Rob Moore still on his feet inside the 20 of New England, down to the 17. Marion Hobby finally chases him down, but Rob Moore takes a short completion and then turns it into a big gainer.
Rob Moore quickly developing in one of the best receivers. Now, O'Brien just gets this ball under the on-rushing Tippett out there to Rob Moore, and Lippett can't handle him. Nice going by the Jets. Good play. I can't believe O'Brien really threw that ball under number 56. Kind of a sidearm a la Sonny Jurgensen delivery. Or I guess more recent history, Bernie Kosar.
Right, that did look like a Kosar pass. And then Moore dodging Lippett, and first down Jets at the 18 of New England. 3-0 New England leads. Second quarter, 9:44 less. Same play. Rob Moore to the sideline, tripped up inside the 10. Colon and Lippett finally catch up with Rob Moore. Was that the exact same play?
It was the exact same play. O'Brien simply going to the single coverage side. He's going to give it to his wide receivers because Lepet, number 42, for one thing, is a better run defender than he is pass defender. Cullen tried to help out with his own defense that time, but O'Brien got the ball out more quickly.
First and goal for the Jets. O'Brien, after a slow start, starting to hit his receivers. He passed for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in the earlier win at New England. Not much. Yard and a half, maybe 2 to the 5, where Marion Hobby again makes the stop.
Once again, the last time these two teams met, the Jets were very successful when they got into that red zone area. They were able to get into the end zone each time. They've been stymied once with the field goal attempt. Leahy missed it. Now it's second and goal to go.
Maybe Aguiar would be the one to kick. We'll have to see if they settle for a field goal attempt.
I don't believe it, Tom. You know, I think Costa will stay with Leahy one more time unless Pat can't go.
Second and goal from the 6. New England defense without Singleton and Agnew, who have been shaken up already in this game. Plenty of time for O'Brien. He's going to run with it. Then he tosses it. Incomplete. Moore was out of the end zone. Moore was over the end line, and the pass will be incomplete.
Well, O'Brien buys some time by moving around. It's just really nice pass coverage by the Patriots here downfield. There's not an open receiver. Look how close this is to a touchdown. We don't quite see his feet coming down. It looks like his heels hit the white part, which is the end line, out of the end zone, out of bounds.
Well, I don't know. It was close. You could almost see some space there, but he just didn't have a good enough shot to see for sure.
Well, the Jets better get going or else they're going to run out of time. Now the officials want to look at this catch or incomplete pass. Let's take another look at it just at the end. Do these feet both come down in bounds? It's too hard to tell.
On the field was an incompleted pass, which will bring up third down. Play is under review.
I think he was out of bounds too there, Tom. And if he wasn't, it's going to be one of those inconclusive calls again.
Yeah, again, we lack the conclusive evidence.
After further review, play stands is called on the field. Incompleted pass brings up third down.
Hard to tell right there. It almost might have been good, but it's just too inconclusive. One thing, they've made quick decisions today. I'll give them credit for that. Third and goal from the 6. Bryant with time. His pass deflected, intended for Moore, and incomplete. David Poole, the man that tipped the O'Brien pass, and it is Louis Aguiar that will try the field goal. Leahy missed from 23, and so Aguiar will come in. Bruce Coslett told us yesterday, every time he kicks, even a point after, you hold your breath. So Coslett holds his breath on the sideline. O'Brien will hold for Aguiar. Aguiar normally holds for Leahy. 23 yards, exact distance that Leahy missed from. Louis Aguiar gets the call for Pat Leahy and boots it through from 23 yards to tie the game. 3-3 with 8:12 remaining in the first half. And the Jets still hoping for the playoffs. Call on Aguiar to get the field goal. He's seen his replacement, Louis Aguiar, tie the game with a 23-yard field goal. We saw Leahy in the training room out at the Jets complex yesterday, Joe, and he told us he'd go if at all possible, but judging from that kick wide to the left from 23 yards, just not up to par.
No, he's hurting out there. His back is tightened up, and he just physically can't do it. Otherwise, you know Pat would be out there.
The weather, this cold weather, can't help either, can it?
Oh, no, I know. It's just... down on that field, it's even colder than it is in the stands. Those guys in the field are feeling the blunt of that wind, and the wind factor does make it colder.
Impossible to get loose. Meanwhile, Aguiar came through when called upon. He was the long field goal kicker already for the Jets. Had a 51-yard field goal wiped out by a penalty up at New England in the earlier meeting. And Aguiar, who played in the World League of American Football, played for Barcelona over there. In fact, He won a kicking contest at halftime of a San Francisco 49ers game. Somebody remembered that, and they drafted him for the WLAF. Now he's in the NFL, but not for long with kickoffs like that. Fair catch called for and taken on the kickoff by Marvin Allen. So the Patriots with good field position after a short Aguiar kick in a 3-3 game. 8 minutes left in the first half from Giant Stadium. Ken O'Brien went the full first quarter without completing a pass in that crosswind. You were telling us before the game about a match you had with Buffalo, you and Joe Ferguson up in Buffalo in a crosswind situation.
We went into the fourth quarter and neither team had completed a pass by that time. A crosswind is very difficult because it knocks the ball down. You never have it with you. It's not into you. It's going across. Knocks everything down. We lost that game, and I believe both teams combined maybe completed 4 or 5 passes.
All right, not a touchdown in this one yet. A battle of field goals with Aguiar getting the tying field goal for the Jets, and now New England takes over. Marv Cook in motion, and Millen hands to Leonard Russell. And the Patriots leading ground gainer pounds ahead for about 4 or 5 yards. Russell's been a bit of a surprise. Everyone conceded the fact that John Stevens would be the primary running threat for New England this year. You remember that Stevens was the #1 rusher last year and was second in the AFC originally, back from his best year. 88, had 1,169 yards and was Rookie of the Year in 88. But Russell, who gets the carry again, and you see why. Russell with a nice run into Jet territory to the 49-yard line, his 7th carry of the day, the 7th carry, and Russell finally tracked down by Brian Washington after a 15-yard gain.
Well, John Stevens, 44, leads the way and gets in the pile, but there's a nice block by Melander there. Now, these kind of holes are really surprising both the Patriots and the Jets, you see, because Coach McPherson feels that his team passes the ball best, and the Jets are going to be tough to run on. But so far, Russell's been getting some nice holes opened up by his huge line.
And Stevens was blocking for him after being converted late in this season to fullback when Ivy Joe Hunter was injured. Millen's pass incomplete. Intended for Michael Timpson. It'll fall incomplete as we check in with Bob Costas at NFL Live for an update.
Right now in Cleveland, it stands Bernie Kosar 2, Warren Moon 1. Touchdown passes, that is. Here's the latest. Kosar 8 yards to Brian Brennan. Cleveland goes up 14-7. If Houston loses today, well, then it clinches home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs for Buffalo, and they don't have to bother against the Colts or next week against the Lions.
All right, Bob, and of course for Cleveland, if they lose any chance of a wild card berth. Chance is slim for the Browns, but possible. High formation on 2nd down. Stevens the fullback, and the tailback Russell. Again, Russell with a nice run, bursting free up the middle, across the 40 and close to another Patriot first down. A 9-yard gain on that one. Young and Hasty finally making the tackle in the secondary. Well, on our Dr. Pepper 10-minute ticker, there's the Cleveland-Houston game we were discussing. Philadelphia now has come to take a 7-5 lead on 2 playoff hopefuls at the Vet in Philly. And Atlanta still leading Seattle by a 5-0 count, a field goal and a safety. Detroit locked up in a tie with Green Bay. Minnesota still has an outside chance. They lead. And 2 also-rans. Pittsburgh leading Cincinnati by a field goal. Russell has carried 8 times, 54 yards. He's on the sideline here on 3rd and 1. Stevens from the fullback spot gets the New England first down.
Now, what New England is doing, besides advancing the ball, getting it closer there, is they're keeping the ball out of the Jets' hands. Now, the Jets' offense has been struggling. They'd like to get on the field to try and work out of it. But this offense right now of the Patriots, that offensive line, is doing a marvelous job opening up holes for the running game.
Dick McPherson saying that he wanted to try to win 2 in a row for the first time for this team since the last 3 years, and they couldn't get caught up in trying to knock somebody out of the playoffs. They just needed to tend to their own business and not worry about knocking the Jets out of the playoff picture. But the Jets might have been offside. Millen rolls to the outside and ducks out of bounds. James Hasty forced Millen out of bounds, but it looked like the defensive line of the Jets might have been offside.
Yeah, I think Marvin Washington was a little bit over anxious that time and jumped the gun right here on the right side of the screen. 97 kind of breaks that plane, just getting started early.
Offside call against the New York Jets. And there's Washington coming out of the game, replaced by the rookie Mark Gunn.
All week long, you Jet fans have been reading how the Jets hurt themselves. They beat themselves. The other teams didn't do it. Well, Marvin Washington and his buddies better quickly figure out a way to stop beating themselves.
Defense, offsides, number 97. Penalty accepted, 5 yards. Repeat, first down.
Got a lot of fresh legs on the defensive front for the Jets now. Mark Gunn, Bill Pickell, and Paul Fraze in for Pete Carroll's defense. Only Loggeman among the starters is still in the game at the moment on the defensive line.
Now the Jets with Loggeman and the rest of the troops, they usually get about 8 guys up toward the line of scrimmage. That's why we've been seeing some pretty big gainers by the Patriots. Once they break through that line of scrimmage, there's no one around for the next 5 or 6 yards.
Jets 5th best in the NFL against the rush. Leonard Russell didn't get much that time, and it was Jeff Loggeman with help from Paul Fraze that stacked up the middle and stopped Leonard Russell. That's the area where he had been bursting free earlier on this drive. They cut it off that time.
Loggeman told us earlier about Russell gaining yardage and all, and the technique that's used by the offensive line of the Patriots. It's pretty good ground defense for the Jets, but today it's a better ground offense for the Patriots.
Russell has carried 9 times for 55 yards. Nothing there for Russell that time. Penalty marker down as the Jets collapsed on Leonard Russell. Jeff Loggeman again leading the charge. Gunn was there. And Brian Washington, too.
Yeah, but Brian Washington was a bit early, I think. I think he jumped off sides again. He's up on the line of scrimmage, and he wants to get back there. And I believe it was Washington who was off sides. Let's take another look at top of the screen, folks. There, number 48 breaks the play, and he's offsides, just a bit anxious. Now, again,
offsides, number 48, 5-yard penalty accepted, first down.
You know, sure, I played quarterback, but folks, you're a defensive lineman, an outside rusher on the line of scrimmage, whether you're a safety or linebacker. You've got to pay attention to the football. It's sitting there on the ground, and you can't move until it moves. So some way, these defensive players have got to be able to see that football out of the corner of their eye and contain themselves until it moves.
Washington coming on the blitz that time and just mistimed it. Cost him 5 yards. First down for the Patriots. Russell hit in the backfield. Tripped up by Jeff Loggeman. So Loggeman now starting to come to the fore for the Jet defense, and he's been the inspirational leader. Dennis Byrd was telling us yesterday that he and Loggeman, although exact opposites in personality, have become fast friends and workmates on that defensive line of the Jets. And Loggeman with a big play there, stopping Russell in the backfield. Marv Cook, who's been fighting off injuries, shaken up on that last one. He is a valuable part of that New England offense.
There's 85, Marv Cook. Let's see if you can tell. Oh, look at that left ankle down there in the bottom. My goodness gracious. Well, he got it up and out of there, but you could tell he had it twisted.
Marv Cook injured, his hand and arm against Indianapolis last week. He's caught 77 passes. Russell, again, they're ready for him. Kyle Clifton, the man now that met Leonard Russell at the pass and drove him backwards. It'll bring up third down for New England. Marv Cook caught more passes than any other tight end in the NFL. One today, 77 for the season.
He's tough, too, Tom. His teammates love him. I mean, last week he hurt his hands, had him stepped on, bent and everything, and he'd shake it off. All year long, he's had the kind of injuries that a lot of players wouldn't play with, but Marv Cook is a tough one.
We asked Coach McPherson about him, and he said he was an inspiration to the team. In fact, when he asked about Marv Cook, he just said, wow. Flags down. Millen, no, the play's going to be blown dead. And Millen, you see Millen hold his hand up and said, no, guys, no, guys.
He's learning fast. Again, I thought the right side of the Patriots jumped a little bit. Pat Harlow might have been a hair early, but this is going to go against the Patriots, I believe.
5-yard step off against New England for illegal procedure. Marv Cook heading to the locker room to be examined.
False start prior to the snap. Number 77. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
Well, check out the right side of the line. Pat Harlow, the rookie tackle, who has not missed a snap all season, just comes out of his stance a hair early.
Marv Cook with an ankle injury headed for the dressing room with 2:41 left in the half. Pat Harlow has played 863 plays coming into today's game and had only 8 missed assignments. Incredible for a rookie. Millen. Pass on target, complete to Timpson. And Timpson will be short of the first down at around the 25 of the Jets. Tony Stargell forced him out. There's young Hugh Millen. Completed that one for a 9-yard gain.
I think this Millen is terrific. He's eager to learn. I mean, the guy loves to play. He's always asking questions on how to improve. And most importantly for this young man has been the opportunity to get out there and take all the repetitions against the NFL defenses. That's how you learn, folks. Going against the competition full speed ahead, not in practice.
Millen was picking Joe Namath's brain yesterday on passing technique in the life of an NFL quarterback. 4th down play, and on 4th down, Millen chased from the pocket. Hugh Millen will run, lowers his head, and is to the 21, short of the first down. Dennis Byrd hit him, but again, the moxie by Hugh Millen.
That's right. He lowers his head. He knows how far he has to go. He didn't have anything downfield. The Jet coverage was excellent. A little pressure, and then he tries to roll over him. We've got a tie game, folks. We'll be back after these messages.
Battle of field goals, Patriots and Jets 3-3 with just over 2 minutes left in the first half. First down pass, O'Brien hits Blair Thomas. Thomas down at the 25-yard line. Only a gain of 3. Maurice Hurst stops him as we come to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left in the first half with the Patriots and the Jets tied at 3. 7 of 18, O'Brien. The wind has something to do with that. O'Brien now will run and slides down short of the first down at the 31, Joe. Keeping his feet for another stride gets him a first down.
Yes, but those are the kind of plays you'd like to see Kenny stay on his feet a little bit longer, maybe pick up the first down. There were a couple of other plays in the first quarter and second quarter where it appeared that O'Brien might be able to run the ball into the end zone or close, but chose to throw them. He's not a scrambling type quarterback, but he moves around smartly in the pocket.
Full complement of timeouts remaining for the Jets. You see the time left. We're 3-3. Low snap. O'Brien picks it up and passes to the sideline complete. Rob Moore makes the catch and has a Jet first down at the 46-yard line. Harry Colon made the tackle, and O'Brien went down after he delivered the football. Gain of 15 on this play by the Jets, trying for a go-ahead score before halftime. A moment ago, Aguiar's field goal tied it at 3-3. A reminder that at the conclusion of today's game, we will be presenting the Avis We Try Harder Award given to the game's MVP. Could be a kicker before we're all done. That kind of day at Giant Stadium. O'Brien's pass batted down, swatted down by big David Howard, number 99. Gave it an extra swat, too, after it hit the turf. Well, Bob Costas and his band will be on hand at halftime for the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report. We'll bring you up to date on all the games in progress, all the playoff ramifications, and a feature on the Dolphins, Dan Marino on the Dolphins that you did, right, Joe?
Yes, I was down there Friday talking with the Dolphins. You know, they've won 5 of 6 games. 2 more wins will put them in the playoffs for sure.
And these Jets have a date at Joe Robbie Stadium next Sunday afternoon, which could decide which of those teams makes it to the playoffs. But first, the Jets must win today, and O'Brien hits Toon. Al Toon with a first down. That's a catch now in 91 straight games. Had one earlier nullified by penalty. The streak is alive at 91. David Poole stops Toon, but not until he has a Jet first down with just less than a minute remaining in a 3-3 game.
David Poole, number 27, really keeps Toon from going out of bounds. Look how he won't let him get out there. He makes the Jets use a timeout. A very nice play by David Poole, the second-year back out of Carson Newman.
A bulldog hold on Toon's jersey, so the Jets have to spend a timeout. They have one left. O'Brien, nice catch made by Al Toon. Toon went downstairs to get that one, a gain of 8. David Poole again covering Al Toon, and the clock ticking away. Ball at the 31 of New England. Now they may review that one.
Well, I didn't see anything to review.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
Maybe something else. Clock or placement of the ball.
What about McPherson's technique on that sack of Hugh Miller?
Ruling on the field is a completed pass. Bring up second down. The play is being reviewed.
The Max sack, huh? I know Costlet's wondering what's happening. You can see by Coach McPherson's gestures, he doesn't know what's going on. It looked like a clear-cut catch on the left side of the screen.
After further review, play stands is called on the field. Completed pass brings up second down.
Well, that was a good foot off the turf. The catch by Toon. So 2nd and 1 now for the Jets from the 31 of the Patriots. Freeman McNeil, first down New York to the 27-yard line. Hobby and Howard on the tackle. See if O'Brien kills the clock. And they do have a timeout left, so he has a chance to look to the end zone. Throws in the flat. Catch made by Mathis. He's out of bounds inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Poole and Washington made sure he went out. 14 ticks left, and Aguiar or Leahy, which would it be? Aguiar kicked one from 23. Leahy missed one from 23. And he doesn't look like he may be going back in the game today. And Aguiar having succeeded, would expect to see him again.
There's just 14 seconds left on the clock, but the Jets do have one timeout left.
Complete. Al Toon again. He's all the way to the 10, and that improves the chances for a field goal immeasurably. 14-yard gain. Now the clock ticking. They stop it with 2 seconds left. Woo.
Well, I tell you, I'm surprised it wasn't 6 seconds when they stopped it, because that would give you a shot at your 6'5" receiver one-on-one back there in the secondary.
Well, Coslet will go for the field goal when we return to Giant Stadium, trying to take the lead before intermission. 23. O'Brien to hold. No good. No good. Aguiar misses from 27 yards. And the New York Jets, Pat Leahy, Louis Aguiar, the kickers struggling today. And the Jets will go to the halftime with their playoff hopes somewhat in doubt. Aguiar's kick sailing wide left. 3-3. Halftime.